Hello. So today I want to talk about cosmetic procedures, surgery and injectables. Before I do, I would ask if you would kindly please subscribe to my channel and also let me have some feedback. I'll be really interested to know what you think and also any questions or queries that you may have. So whether you're considering surgery or injectables, getting the right practitioner is absolutely vital. You hear so many horror stories these days from people that have gone to unqualified people, and it's very scary. So I really want to give you the benefit of my experience. I've had various bits of work done over the years, and I've learned a lot in that time. I'm not here to advocate for or against cosmetic procedures. Obviously, I have had work done, so it's something that I'm comfortable with. But I think the most important thing before you even start thinking about a practitioner is to think about why you want to have the work done. It's so important that you are realistic in your expectations in terms of both the outcome and what it's going to do for you. Basically, having cosmetic procedures is not going to change your life fundamentally. It's not going to help you get the man of your dreams or make you rich and famous overnight. And it probably won't help any serious psychological problems, particularly around issues of self-esteem. But there is no doubt that if you've got something that is really worrying you about how you look and you can change it, then obviously one option is to have a procedure. I'm a big fan personally of injectables because actually these are less costly than surgery, and also in most cases are temporary, so you can achieve really good results without actually having to go under the knife. My own first experience with surgery was some time ago now, when I had my nose straightened. I was born with a very large nose with a big bump on it, which just looked ridiculous on my face and made me very self-conscious. And particularly when I was much younger, I would do anything rather than show anyone my profile. And it really did affect my behaviour. And I always swore that when I could, I would have it done. So when I started working, I saved my pennies and I did have my nose straightened and shortened a little bit, which just looked more sympathetic to my face and my bone structure anyway. And I was really pleased with that, and it really did improve my confidence no end. So as long as one has realistic expectations of the outcomes, then the next step really is to think about whether it's surgery or injectables, finding the right man or woman for the job. Here are my golden rules for finding the right practitioner. First of all, don't entertain anyone that advertises. The best practitioners really don't need to. Their reputation precedes them, and they get all their work through word of mouth. Similarly, anyone that appears on the radio or TV, particularly in those makeover type programs, really I would avoid, unless they are speaking in a capacity of authority and talking about the industry and the procedures in general. The best way to find a good practitioner initially is ask around, ask your friends. If you know that people have had work done but you think they look great, ask them who they went to. If you want surgery, I would recommend your first port of call is the British Association of Aesthetic Plastic Surgeons. This is a very elite group of people, and membership is only by peer recommendation and approval. So these are really the best in the business. And if you go on the website, you can find a whole list of practitioners there and their CVs, what they specialise in. So I would recommend looking through that list and maybe making a long list of potential candidates. Only consider people that specialise in the procedures that you're interested in. So for example, if you had a problem with your ear, you wouldn't go to a cardiac specialist, and it's the same with cosmetic surgery. You really need people that have thorough, in-depth knowledge of the particular areas that you're concerned with. So if you want a facelift, don't go to a practitioner that specialises in breast enhancement, or particularly anyone that claims to be good at everything, because the best people really do specialise only in particular areas. Once you've got your long list, find out as much as you can about potential practitioners. Obviously the BAPS website will tell you so much, but it's a good idea to Google, to ask around. And I would also suggest talking to your GP, particularly if you're thinking about surgery. They would need to know that you're going to have surgery anyway, and these days you should find GPs more sympathetic to those looking for cosmetic procedures, and at the very least may be able to give you some counsel and maybe even some comment on your chosen potential list of candidates. The next step really is to whittle down that long list based on what you found to perhaps a list of 3 that you feel are most appropriate for you in terms of experience. It might also be where they're located and where they operate, which might be convenient for where you live, because really you want to go and see your practitioners. So I would recommend ringing them up, making an appointment, go and see them. You may find that some surgeons will charge for this, but to be honest, it's such an important decision, and it's so essential that you meet them, that you're happy with them, that you get the right feeling from your consultation, that it really is worth the money. And sometimes they will deduct the consultation fee from the cost of the actual operation. Another really important point is to only see the surgeon that's going to do the work, nobody else, and in particular not a representative or anyone that just represents the practice. It's the man or woman who's going to do the job that you need to see, and they should be telling you everything you need to know about the procedure, and critically the aftercare as well. There should be a number of follow-up appointments when you have surgery, and they should tell you exactly what you need to know, but don't forget to ask all the questions too, because it's so important that you know what you're getting into. Once you've seen your 3 potential surgeons, you should be able to decide which one you actually want to work with, given that they should all be highly qualified and perfectly able to do what you need doing. It may just come down to the person that you feel that you get on best with, but of course that's important too, because it's obviously a close relationship, and you'll be wanting to be happy and comfortable with them, and also when you go for your follow-up appointments. Never entertain any practitioner that tells you what you need doing. A really good practitioner, particularly a surgeon, should be asking you what concerns you and what you feel you need help with. Similarly, if a practitioner refuses to do something, give you Angelina Jolie's lips or Kim Kardashian's bottom, for example, then you should listen to them. Best practitioners are concerned purely with aesthetics, and they will look at any work that you're considering having done in the whole context of you and your physiology, your bone structure, the result that that's going to produce. After all, these practitioners' reputations rest on how good their clients look. If they look ridiculous or inappropriate, that's not good for their professional reputation. So I believe that, particularly for more mature women like me, what we're trying to achieve is just to look our best selves, but not obviously look like we've had a lot of work done. Next rule is make sure you follow your practitioner's instructions when it comes to aftercare. You should expect to have, for surgery anyway, several follow-up appointments, but they will also advise you on how to care for yourself, possibly give you drugs you need to take. You should really listen to this, because this is where sometimes the problems arise. There's no shortcut to the healing process, so you need to take it seriously, and your surgeon knows best. For this reason, another golden rule is never ever go abroad for surgery. I know that the offers look very tempting, particularly from a cost point of view, but it's so important that you attend the follow-up appointments, and particularly if you do have any problems, you need to be able to go back and see your surgeon. That's not going to happen if your surgeon is halfway around the world. If you're considering Botox or fillers of any kind, you really need to take just as much care as you do if you're looking for a surgeon to do cosmetic work. In a way, it's even more important, because it's so much easier for people to offer this service. You don't have to be medically qualified. Almost anyone can train to give these injections at the moment, and I really hope that that is tightened up soon, because this is where a lot of the problems arise. As with surgery, ask friends for recommendations by all means, but be wary of anyone that's offering Botox parties, for example. This is a serious business and it shouldn't be taken lightly, and certainly not in a non-professional environment where you've got people all egging each other on perhaps, and quite often there seems to be alcohol involved. This is just completely unacceptable for this kind of work, so don't go there. Always look for a properly medically qualified practitioner and check their qualifications, check their experience, talk to people that have had work done by them, and make sure that it's done in a professional setting. It's also essential that these practitioners are medically qualified in case something goes wrong. Personally, I've got low blood pressure and I have on occasions fainted or nearly fainted during procedures. But if you're with a medically qualified practitioner, they can deal with that, so you know you're in safe hands.